When Nathan arrived at the old hotel on the edge of town, the first thing he noticed was the silence. Not the usual kind, but a suffocating, heavy quiet that wrapped around him like fog. He was here for solitude, to escape, to write, to forget. The receptionist handed him the key to room 408 with a strange look, as if wanting to say something. But she didn't. She only smiled, tightly, and turned away. Room 408 was nothing special. Peeling wallpaper, a cracked mirror above the desk, an old ceiling fan that groaned like it had lungs. But Nathan liked old things. They had stories, and Nathan needed stories. That night, the storm began. Rain thrashed against the windows. The wind howled like something alive. Nathan sat at the desk, fingers hovering above his laptop, but his mind was blank. So he looked up into the mirror, and for a moment, he swore he saw someone else staring back. Not a reflection, not a trick of light. Someone watching him from the other side. He turned. Nothing. He laughed it off. Too much coffee, he muttered. But when he looked back at the mirror, his reflection wasn't moving. It stared at him, tilted its head, smiled. Nathan stumbled back, heart pounding. The reflection slowly raised its hand and wrote on the misted mirror from inside, "Do you remember?" Nathan stared at the words etched in the misted glass. "Do you remember?" He hadn't touched the mirror. His breath caught in his throat. Slowly he stepped closer. The words began to fade, and the reflection was once again his own. But that smile still lingered. A little too long, a little too wide. He backed away, refusing to look into the mirror again. The rest of the night was restless. Shadows moved when they shouldn't. Every creak of the floorboards echoed louder than the last. At one point, Nathan awoke to the sound of whispering. It came from the walls, from the mirror, from inside his skull. By morning he was pale and trembling, but he didn't leave. Instead, he found himself drawn to the desk, drawn to the mirror. He sat and stared at it for hours, expecting, dreading, hoping, and sure enough, it came back. His reflection blinked after he did, then it moved on its own. It raised one hand and placed it flat against the glass. Nathan, against his will, mirrored the gesture. Cold pulsed through his fingers, a sensation like ice, like being watched from under the surface of a frozen lake. Then the reflection opened its mouth and spoke, but no sound came. Instead, more words etched themselves on the foggy mirror. "You left me here." Nathan's chest tightened. The memory bloomed sharp and sudden. A forest, a scream, a face beneath the water. Someone he never spoke of again. Someone he tried to forget. He stumbled back. "No," he whispered, "you're not real." But the mirror, cracked, and from within the fracture, a voice echoed, not through the room, but inside his mind. "I was real enough to drown." Nathan locked the mirror in the wardrobe, taped the doors shut, covered the whole thing with a blanket and shoved the chair in front of it. Out of sight, out of mind. But the silence grew heavier. The air in the room thickened like smoke. He began to hear footsteps behind him. But whenever he turned, nothing. Until he looked at the blank wall and saw his reflection standing there. No mirror, just himself, or what looked like him. It stepped closer. Its eyes were hollow. Its voice, when it spoke, was a cold echo inside his head. "You forgot what happened that night," Nathan screamed, backing away, but he couldn't run. The walls warped. The door vanished. Then the room changed. Suddenly he was no longer in room 408. He stood on the edge of a lake under a moonless sky. Cold wind rushed past him. The water was still. Too still. Behind him stood the reflection, but now it was her face. The girl from that night. Her name rushed back into his memory like a flood. Emily, his sister's best friend. The one who had followed him into the woods. The one who had fallen. The one he had left. "You told them I ran off," she whispered, her voice echoing from every tree, every drop of water. "You never came back for me. I was scared," Nathan stammered. "I was just a kid. You buried me in your memory, but I remember." The lake boiled. Hands reached from beneath the water, clawing the earth, pulling themselves up. Versions of Nathan, each of them screaming, drowning, echoes of the truth he refused to face. The girl stepped forward, her eyes turned black. "You don't deserve to forget," she said. "And I don't forgive." She reached out, touched his chest. The world imploded into glass, shattering.